So in addition to like the tremors and like a lot of the high stress situations, I was like experiencing like a lot of cognitive difficulty, um, and like just like a mental block, like just like forgetting like how to do like basic like things and like knowing like stuff to do like that would normally seem obvious. Like there was either like a client um like being admitted or like coming for an interview or something. I don't know. I was like kind of so I like walk in to like go into this room, and then I notice them and I'm like, oh yeah, they probably want privacy. And then I was kind of just like what am I supposed to do about that? Like, and I think like I guess like walk away. I was like, wait, how do I do that? And I think just like there's like a door, but you have to walk through the room. It's like, wait, do I do that? And I was like, no, I'd have to like walk through the room. So like, do I turn around? But how do I do that? Like, kind of like, and even which like it was kind of tense because I kind of just like stood there like not knowing what to do, like I don't know, awkwardly. So like I think like if I remember correctly, I kind of just like stopped talking. There was some tension, but nothing. But then, someone said something to me, and it was kind of like, oh, like basically what I knew, like they want privacy and like, oh, like walk away or something. But I mean, I liked that staff members, but it's kind of like a little bit like, okay, well, I want like I was like kind of like I was gonna do that, but like you could give me a chance to do it. But also like I realized I was kind of just standing there, but it didn't seem like that long. But then again, I knew my thinking was like kind of slower, I think, so it was kind of weird. Because normally like it's like more automatic. Like I take that kind of thing for granted. If I kind of see people, I can walk away. And yeah, there's this time when like a client's dog went to the bathroom in the house, but he was like couldn't like so I went to tell them, but I was having trouble like communicating it. Like just kind of so I kind of just like was like, but like she didn't know what it meant, so I eventually got it out and it's like, oh, the dog went to the bathroom over there, like, and she's like, oh, thanks, yeah, we'll clean it up. But it's just stuff like that was like, and also like one time I was kind of like preoccupied. Part of it was like the physical symptoms, like it felt maybe I don't know like what it was, if it was like nerve type symptoms, because like again it felt like something sharp was cutting into me. And also had like vertigo, just kind of like unsteady, so just like really preoccupied. And I went to my room, and there was the door open, and then they were talking, and I think it looked like I was eavesdropping because I was kind of just like trying to go to my room, but kind of like going slowly and kind of just like having a difficult time getting up there and like getting to my room. But yeah, so I was like, okay, well, yeah, I guess I was acting kind of awkward and like I was eavesdropping, but I mean, also at the same time, like I feel like the door was open, so it's like, and then I think they closed the door and said something, but like I was like, it can't be that private, but also yeah, I don't. It's just not something I would anyways want to do. Just like look like I was like in the hallway lurking, listening to a conversation, even if it was like probably like not the most private. Otherwise, the door would probably be closed. But it's just like yeah. So yeah, a lot of like yeah, just like trouble communicating and stuff, and trouble like kind of knowing what to do with like information, which was different happening. And I was also thinking at the time like, did I become dumber and like that's also making it harder to like not act awkwardly, and also too like and I didn't know if like it happened, and I just noticed because I was drinking. But also too because like at one time I got like several bottles of whipped cream, and like we were huffing it / mostly I was huffing it because it was the client whose idea it was to drink really at the first, but so I was like, hey, do you want to do whippets with me? And he's like, yeah. So we were huffing those, and I like did several because like when it would like wear off very quickly, and I just immediately do another one, and then I just started like, it was like I was like, he kind of did some and he was good. It's like, oh, are you done? Do you mind if I just have the rest of these? He's like, yeah, sure, go for it or whatever. I don't remember the conversation, but basically, yeah, I did that, and it was like, and they're supposed to be like pretty quick lasting, but like it lasted for like I think like an hour, because I like did such an I did I did a lot of them, but I think I did a lot, yeah. And yeah, so I was wondering if I had brain damage from that or something else, or like the drinking had, because it's like I was, and at one point when I had stopped drinking too, a client goes like to me like kind of like looking at me weird as I wonder what it was. It was like, you smell like rubbing alcohol, and it was like literally coming out of my pores. So, but then also like, yeah, but actually no, it was a lot of the clients were much more helpful in like ways, because like when I was like feeling terrible about like the whole drinking thing, which I mean, yeah, I have a like pretty good sense of self and everything, so it was like, but at the same time, because I didn't know if I like was completely different forever from like different things, because just I never experienced it. I was just pretty much always drinking or having rebound effects. But then yeah, I started getting, yeah, talking to clients and whatever, and I was able to like, they didn't like react badly to me. Like the therapist was like reinforcing a lot of my fears, like I said, like, which is just like, I don't know, like very weird. Like he was in many ways, I feel like, very harmful, but not in a outright way, just more kind of like, I guess, passive aggressive, manipulative a little bit. Because like then one time he was like, I was talking about it, and he was like, yeah, like, you don't want therapy, you just want meds, but like then he's like criticized me for not being in a positive mood. So it's like, really, you're gonna tell me that? Like, so I still had like some sense of self, so I still kind of had like some way. So it's like, who are you to talk to me that way? That's what I was thinking. But also like I had some fears still, but like, which I was thinking. So I kind of just like, I like didn't really react, didn't really respond. I didn't think it was worth it. But I mean, I think I did a little bit, and somehow, but a lot of times I just wouldn't, because like it wouldn't be worth it. That's why I like drank, because like whatever, he was like enjoyable enough when I was like drunk, and when I didn't try to tell him about a problem. But yeah, or it's not even that, yeah, it's just like every time a problem would come up, which every time I was drinking, it would kind of just mitigate it a little bit, but I knew I could tell like every time it would get worse and worse and worse, which was why I was trying to also at the same time, because I knew it was just like growing under the surface, trying to deal with it, but no one was helping me, especially him, and he was like the primary therapist, so it was kind of like, what do I do, right? Like I was trying to mitigate it at the same time, but he was not being helpful. So he's like, you just want like meds all the time, which like, I mean, I don't. I knew it was related to like the rebound effects and stuff, as well as the the drinking, which of course compounded that. Like, cause right, like I don't have that like same thing like as before, like constantly thinking about drinking, like waking up and wanting to drink, just wanting to drink all the time. It just doesn't happen. But I'm pretty sensitive to coming off of benzos, which I knew, which is why I avoided them, but they just put me on them. So it was like, it's difficult to like, in the thick of it though, not just try to get more. Because even at one point, I was too, like before I got to the hospital, like I would get it off and on, and at one point I even got it in an IV again, Ativan, like, and at one point I got, I asked for it, and at one point they gave it to me for, like, getting a blood drawn. They couldn't, I was, like, my veins were constricting. I'm really already nervous about, needles, so I think that made it worse. But, yeah, so I had, they gave me Ativan, 1 milligram, still couldn't get it. And then I think they gave me 2 more milligrams of Ativan, and they got it, eventually. And that was even a challenge. I had like warm packs on me and Ativan. And then I think to make me easier to deal with, before because I was at that place for a while, like there was a children's place, because I was at Boston Children's Hospital. I was at Mass General, and my parents drove me there, but Mass General didn't know how to treat me, even in their ICU. So I was in like late stage poisoning. They sent me to Children's Hospital, who ended up, I think, putting me in like medically induced coma and giving me I woke up with a breathing tube and everything. But then they gave me Ativan, 2 milligrams of Ativan and Klonopin, because they said, oh, we're gonna give you some Ativan, 3 milligrams. Like, that didn't really do, or 2 milligrams. It's like, oh, that didn't really do anything last time. They're like, yeah, that isn't strong enough for you, so we're actually gonna give you also a milligram of Klonopin, which is like Ativan but stronger. So they gave me 2 milligrams of Ativan. So that's also part of too. When I came into the hospital, I think it was Arbor Fuller, I was all like, I was like really kind of like sleeping, and I woke up just like super irritable and like nervous and just like rebound effects. But so I have this sensitivity to it, like, so when I'm in the thick of it, of course I'm gonna like, and especially too if like he's not like no one is helping me, but I'm like in the thick of this rebound effects, of course I'm gonna want to get relief from it. That's not saying anything. Like, normally I don't particularly find meds worth taking. Honestly, none of them helped me a lot, except for like mostly like some stuff temporarily helped me, and not even help me, I would say just make me feel numb, which makes certain things easier. But a lot of it doesn't really do too much. But coming off of like with the rebound effects of certain things, that's definitely something that makes me want to have more of it, of course, which is common. But I bet like rebound, withdrawal. But yeah, I was like, so yeah, I didn't know if I was ever going to come out of it, but then like, or what it was necessarily from, but it was like, I think, yeah, the withdrawal. But yeah, that was difficult too, because it was like anxiety producing and just like confusing, and no one was noticing even the like really obvious ones, or like, and then of course the subtle ones, I don't think they even like would at all. But like, yeah, no, at the though when I came in, like, I don't know but there was tension, and like I feel like at that point, like it was obvious something was not right. I didn't know what it was. I didn't not know like what the people like. I was thinking, oh, is it like, because I knew I was acting awkwardly, so I didn't know if that's what they responded to, if they could somehow like could tell like that I was like no one seemed to really notice basically, but there was like tension, kind of like puzzling looks, and just I feel like everyone when I went over, just kind of like standing there, like not knowing what to do. People were kind of like noticing in some tension, but yeah, I came out of but that just kind of started to resolve.